So after a much needed long weekend, I am now ready to give you guys a tour. I am currently recovering from like a sinus cold of some sort, so excuse my nasaliness. But it has been officially about 12 days or so since we got everything planned out. For those who are new here, hi, I'm Ashley, and we are here in Zone 6A, Ohio, Central Ohio, and I grow all things in my raised bed garden space in my suburban backyard garden. So let's just get into it. We ain't gonna try to make this too long, but we gonna get into it. Okay, we're going ahead and start up here on the deck. This is what's left of what I had up here. I have some flowers that I have not yet decided what I want to do with. I have some poppies. I want to say some love in a mist. I don't know. I can't remember what's what. And then I went on ahead and re-sowed all of my okra, my cucumbers, and squashes, because I have been dealing with some severe pest pressure with everything that has come up. But the okras I might be all right on. I don't know what it is about like the weather when it changes like super severe. I feel like the pest pressure gets dumb crazy, even though like I've tried to companion plant and all of that sort of thing. Still nothing. All right, don't be yelling at me. All right, over here on the side of my deck here, first of all, don't pay attention to that. I thought that I was going to be able to bring back this boxwood. I used to have it in a container, but I don't have just a whole lot of green growth in this, so I might just end up calling that a wash. But I did go on ahead and put in the one and only can of bulb that came up from the bulbs that I purchased. So I just popped it right there just so it can like kind of do its thing here. The peppermint is looking fabulous. The yarrow is beginning to bud, and my echinacea is getting some growth on it as well. Looks like I'll have buds on that soon as well. And then my lemon balm is busting, bombastic bust. I finally fertilized these pots. I haven't fertilized these pots in like, I want to say the last 2 seasons. So that's all that growth. And then we do have like a volunteer borage in here, which I'm glad about because I did not plant any borage. And then I snuck in some snapdragons. That is holy basil there. It's all hanging in there. And then this is lime mint that I picked up from the nursery. And then I did get a stevia plant, but like immediately it fizzled out, so it is what it is. And then this huge guy here is the, hold on, let me see if I can find the tag, valerian roots. So one of my goals was to grow more of my own herbs, and that's what you see pretty much over here. I really enjoy making herbal teas, and I would like to get more into tinctures and stuff. I've been taking this herbalism course for a while now, so I want to put some of my learnings into practice, which is why I have all of these things going on in here. But let's continue on. All right, and then snuck in over here, we have some garlic chives, which you see, I didn't get many blooms this year, which is unusual. But then this anise hyssop here is busting, baby. And this was a volunteer. I don't even know where the heck it came from, but I ain't mad at it. All right, we are going to start here in Soul's garden. So you can see here the sunflowers are getting some height on them. This is one tomato pepper. One of the tomatoes here, this is the Patio Choice Yellow, which is like a bush variety, which is why I don't have any support here. I have one here and here, and I don't know where the lid to that is, but you can see I've got a nice little nasturtium in there, some sweet banana peppers. These squirrels I mean, I wish you guys could see. They are like chasing each other around and like going ape shit over here. But yeah, at first I thought they were people, but they're the squirrels. Anyways, yeah, banana peppers. And then the lettuces here are starting to make a comeback. I mentioned earlier in the spring how I felt like this soil was pretty deficient because it was more woody. I ended up adding in some just like leftover soil that I had. I fertilized everything pretty good, and I feel like it's starting to make a comeback. No major growth, even like with these tomatoes here. I feel like I should have gotten a lot more growth, but you know, oh my gosh, these squirrels. It is what it is. Anyways, let's get back to this. So yeah, everything for the most part slow growth, but growth nonetheless. I did sow in some bush cucumbers here. I'm waiting for those to get more size until I snip it down to just one plant. And then down here on this side, I have the leftover onions just kind of like multi-sown in here, and those are like, they're looking pretty good. Got some decent size on them. Oh, wow. Y'all. Let me back up. Oh, Jesus. How do I back up? Y'all, it's mating season. That's what's happening right now. These squirrels are boning in the tree. I don't know if I got good footage. It's a lot happening. They are getting it in. All right, back to the tour. My God, that's a lot for me. Potatoes are doing great. This one specifically has decided to like sprawl outside of this, which is fine because I mean, you see it's like just kind of out in the way. I might try to spin it around just so it falls this way so my son can still make his way through this path here, but you know, it is what it is. And then over here, my blueberry bush, very, very few blueberries popping up on this, which I kind of assumed would have been the case because I did a pretty hard prune on these, and then I also transplanted them. But I don't know, maybe we'll get a handful or two out of this situation. And then the strawberries are doing what they need to do. They look pretty happy. Oh, we've got one little baby strawberry. I'll need to cover this bed up really, really soon because I feel like somebody's going to come through and steal all of my strawberries, but it looks like they were already trying to here. So I'll have to cover this bed up eventually. We'll see what happens. All right, let's get into these green stalks, baby. They look so happy, so healthy. This guy I need to actually plant up. These were just a variety mixed of kales, so I'll split these up and like actually plant them in the garden. But I mean, look, they look so good. The lettuce here will probably be wrapping up really soon. This was the Marvel of Four Seasons. This actually does pretty well in hotter temperatures, but I'm thinking I'm just going to re-sow some more of the same just to give it a new leaf on life. No pun intended. Oh, look. It's a little white. Can you guys see that? Hopefully I'll zoom in. Anyways, and then I just put some pots here. These actually had tulips in them. I planted some petunia seeds. These don't look like petunias to me, y'all. I don't know what the heck these are. Whatever they are, you know, they'll live on in these pots. So that's what's happening here. And then this green stalk is filled with more herbs, which I do need to trim back quite a bit. So oregano, parsley, what is that called? Thyme, and then more lettuce. This nasturtium is busting in comparison to the one in that one. It's not doing nearly as much, but yeah, they look really, really good. So now let's get into the main garden. So this year, as I said, my goal was to pack this baby out. I was using the square foot gardening method, and in some cases I was not. I was just shoving in what I felt would be best and what made the most sense as far as like what can grow next to each other and everything like that. So we have a good mixture of herbs, brassicas, peppers, tomatoes, all of those sort of things, all kind of like shoved into these two beds specifically. Now the back two beds, it's a different story, but we'll get there. So first, just going straight on, the garlics are right there for right now. I'm actually going to be pulling these up pretty soon because we have garlic scapes, which means that these are beginning to bulb up, and I wanted to harvest some as like spring garlic, like before they actually develop individual cloves. That way I can pickle some of those. So those I will be harvesting soon, and I'll just replace them with like some flowers or something like that. And then you can see here we have cabbages going down each side of the row. Now this one specifically has been getting tore up. Alrighty, I got cut off. Anyways, so yeah, this one has been getting eaten up. So I've kind of been allowing for it to be like the sacrificial plant, which is why I haven't pulled it at all or like cut it back, or I haven't treated these at all. Actually, I did put down like some slug bait because I was having some issues with slugs, but that has not been an issue too much recently. So you can see it's beginning to try to head up. So I'm hoping to have some cabbages, y'all. Now this one is like really, really curled up right now, and I don't know what that's about. I feel like, yeah, it's trying to protect itself because look, these guys here, which I just kind of squished them, but out there you go. But that's something that I noticed. Like usually whenever my plants are trying to protect themselves, they kind of like curl up. So that's like kind of a telltale, at least for me anyway. So I'll just keep my eye on these guys, and I'll just be hand picking as much as possible because I'm trying not to use just a whole lot of anything. And look, I have we have more damage. So I'll have to come back and actually give these a good look, see here, to figure out who is enjoying these before I get to. It's so rude. But yeah, so these cabbages, they're getting a little eaten up. However, these red cabbages have not been touched. Now this here is damage from a species called a toddler. So my toddler loves to come out here and just like yank off the leaves and eat them. She enjoys it. It's none of my business. I let her have that. But other than that, like these have barely been like touched and had any damage really. So I'm really, really excited to hopefully get some. Oh yeah, that's starting to tighten up here, starting to head up. So that's really exciting for me. Now let's go ahead and get into this bed first over here. Obviously all of our onions are still doing the thing. I'm thinking about chopping the tops off just because they're getting like kind of wild and I don't want them to prematurely fall over. So that's something that I may do today or tomorrow, but the onions are looking great. Now my eggplant, on the other hand, experienced a lot of like damage and shock after I planted them out. But they're starting to make a comeback. The new leaves look pretty happy, and on some of the varieties or some of the plants, they actually have like side shoots, but these look good. This here is fennel, and then I also have some cilantro, which I actually need to harvest really soon. I might let at least one of these plants go on ahead and go to seed. That way it can just reseed itself, because that's what happened here in the first place. But I do want to get some salsa on the way. So that's what that's looking like. And then as far as my peppers are concerned, some of them had a little bit of damage from slugs and then just some sun scald as well. So they're kind of slowly making a comeback. This guy was itty bitty and it's getting shaded out pretty good by these cabbages. So hopefully he'll bounce up soon. But you see here, I already have peppers because I did not pick off all of the flowers of these pepper plants because, to be honest, I was just being lazy. But besides that, they're looking pretty good. So all of these were my sweet peppers, so Shiseidos, Bells, Marconis. Now this one, I don't believe they're any of the above. I want to say this might be a jalapeno plant that snuck over here, but that's okay. I'll just keep my eye on it and I'll give it a taste test before I give it to anybody. And then here, well, first of all, let's address this. The sage has absolutely taken over this corner. It's been here for 4 years and I cut it back significantly this past winter, but it just wants to grow, so I just let it do its thing. And then the same with this lavender here. It's starting to flower, so that's really exciting. And then we have our singular ground cherry here. I only wanted one this year. Last year I did 3 and that was way too much. So this one guy, and hopefully it'll be supported pretty good by this like miniature tomato trellis. And then my rhubarb, which I believe I should be good to harvest some of these stalks. They say to harvest between 12 to 18 inches, and I feel like I'm pretty much there. I don't have the color that I was looking for, which I don't know. You guys tell me. I asked for advice last time. I didn't get a lot of responses in regards to the rhubarb, but I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. I'll have to keep on researching that. And then my tomatoes here, they're looking pretty good. Now I did see a few aphids on them yesterday. I went through and just sprayed them off with water. I said that if they were still an issue like today or the next few days, then I'll go on ahead and treat them. But they are starting to get some height. I'll go on ahead and tie them up here pretty soon, but they look really, really good. I'm very proud of my tomatoes this year. And then of course the basil is doing good. This lettuce has been like hanging on for dear life. I haven't harvested off of it at all, but it's doing the thing. And then this guy here, which is a Cosmo, I still have gotten no flowers on it, so I'm excited to get flowers on those guys. And then of course the other flowers that I put up here, I put a dahlia in this corner. My zinnias here are still doing pretty good. I do have another volunteer borage in there. And then these are bachelor buttons, which I have not gotten any blooms off of just yet. And then some straw flowers and pincushion flower. All right, now on this bed, it's pretty much mirroring everything that's going on over here with the exception of the back edge here. So all the same flowers, onions, of course. The eggplant over here looks to be doing pretty well. Now this one actually has like the side shoots and everything coming off of it. This guy is like really puny, but I'm hoping that it makes a comeback. And then these were all of the spicy peppers that I put in, which for the most part everybody looks really good. This one I was really worried about, but it has new growth, so it's doing good as well. We have some holy basil, my rosemary that I started from seed, which is starting to get some decent size on it. The one and only marshmallow plant that I had some success with. And then this, I believe, is a collard. I believe it is a collard. I don't know. But it looks like it's got like some damage. I don't know what that is. Like this here just looks really weird to me. Maybe you guys can like help me out. I haven't seen anything on it, but I'm gonna begin to like thin this back some because it's like pretty bushy and taking over the spot. And then all of the tomatoes over here, again, all of my Romas and cherry tomatoes. This little guy here, which was the Brad's Atomic, which was looking mighty pathetic at first, it's starting to make a comeback. So let's hope for the best here. This was one of the ones that had a lot more aphids on it. You can see that there's still quite a few on there, but I'll go through and hose them off again. But other than that, these guys are getting pretty tall. I did go on ahead and pop in some more basils that I just had up on my deck along here as well, and these were different types. So like this dark opal, I believe some Thai basil, whatever type that is there, I don't know. But yeah, you can see this leaf curl here, I believe is just from where the aphids were like latching on pretty tough, and maybe it was just trying to protect itself. We'll see how it goes in the next couple days, but I do need to begin to tie these guys on the trellis just so they don't fall over. And then again, no blooms yet on this guy. And then this potato plant is looking fab. This one actually has some blooms on it, you can see. And then back here in this bed, these sunflowers are busting. Honey, really good. And then down here is a zucchini that this one might be the white scallop squash actually, that I direct sown. And then looky, this is a blush variety of beet, which I'm really excited to try because I've never even seen that before. But you can see it has some decent rootage on there. I'll probably go on ahead and pick this really soon just to try it out. And then looky, my okra seedlings came up nicely, so I'll have 2 okras in this bed. And then this was some bronze leaf fennel that I purchased from the nursery. I want to say I had 3, only 2 survived, and this one looks like pretty pathetic, but should be fine. No blooms yet on the chamomile. And then this guy here was the climbing variety of nasturtium. No climbing action yet, but I'm sure it'll do its thing over time. And then my garlics are busting out of control right now, and we are seeing lots and lots of scapes coming on, which is exciting because I do want to try some recipes using the scapes. But I mean, they are pretty much like tit high on me, which is really exciting. And then we are finally reaching some strides with my peas, my sweet peas. These are the sweet magnolia peas, which I really only grow because of how beautiful the flower is. I don't feel like the pea is actually as sweet as like some of the other varieties, but they're making some strides, which is really exciting. And then down here we had another variety, which I couldn't even tell you what it was. I'll have to put it on the screen if I remember, but it's just a typical white flower. This one seems a lot shorter, but then again, it might be because the way that everything is set up here, it's not getting enough sun. But yeah, that's what's happening on that side of the things. And then on the side where the trellis is, we direct sowed our winter squashes, some melons, and then beans. Right now, this is the only thing that's popped up, which looks to be some type of maybe squash of some sort. I don't know which one because I don't remember what I put where. But yeah, that's the only thing that has popped up on this side of things anyways. We'll wait it out, but I do have some backups in the case that something comes along and decimates things. Just like you can see here, this one got decapitated. I don't know what that is. I'm not even about to try to guess. It is what it is. I'll put the seedlings that I have up on the deck in once they're a little bit more mature. Now, as far as the beans are concerned, I've never in the past had issues with beans getting decapitated as like the seedlings are pushing up. But these past 2 years I have, and it's getting really freaking annoying because I don't even know that it's smart to transplant out beans. I don't know. I might go on ahead and give it a go. I might try it out and just see what happens. But right now it looks like I don't have many pole beans, and that's kind of annoying. So this is what they're looking like. This one is probably the only one that was allowed to grow to a decent size. So this guy, you can see here, decapitated. This one, it looks like somebody's working on it down here, but even the foliage is like pretty tore up. And then down here as well. So that really sucks. Might not get pole beans soon like I would like. And then let's just go on ahead and chat about this bed. The leeks are beginning to get some decent size. Now some of them are pretty stunted. I don't know what that's about, but other ones are looking really, really good, really healthy, and you know, they're getting some size on them. So that makes me really happy as far as the leeks are concerned. And then right next to them here are the celery transplants that I put out. At first I started some, but they didn't look too good, so I ended up buying some transplants, and they look really happy. I'm pretty pleased. And then I randomly have some like beets here and there. The carrot seedlings are looking pretty good as well. These beets that I transplanted out look really good also. Say, try different ways of planting things. Oftentimes they tell you to plant roots directly, but for me with beets, I have never, like maybe the first year that I ever grew a garden, I did pretty decent, but that's also before pest pressure, because they ain't know it was here. But this year was the first year that I started them indoors and then transplanted them out, and no lie, I was extremely worried. I thought that it was going to be a complete bust, but you see my beets, they look pretty damn good. I'm very proud of them. And now for these guys here, these were the 2 Napa cabbages, the only 2 cabbages that I started from seed that actually hung on, and you can see it went directly to seed, which is totally fine. Right now it is acting as a bait plant for all the slugs that I was having issues with. So for right now, I'm leaving them here because the slugs aren't tearing anything else up in this bed. So I'm going to leave these here as long as they can. Like as soon as the seeds actually start forming, maybe I'll go on ahead and pull it out and maybe put some more brassicas here to attract those slugs, because they're not going anywhere else right now. So I just want to leave these here, let them do their thing, and boom, bam, there you have it. And then on this end here, we have a gray zucchini, which I did not explain this. So I plan to trellis these up these wooden stakes just to keep them off the ground and hopefully avoid vine borers. Then we have some sunflowers here. You can see more of those aphids hanging on for dear life. Straw flowers, some okra seedlings here and there. These are calendula, some more chamomile, and then this was the sweet 100 millions. You can see this one is all like folded up. This one had quite a few aphids on them as well. You can see there's still some remnants of them, but yeah, that looks pretty good. And then I had one like gladiola that came back. That was shocking to me. Now on this side of the trellis, these guys, I don't know how these guys are surviving right now, but they are. This one looks pretty pathetic, but this one does not. These are like the asparagus bean, which is also known as like the Asian noodle bean. So I just had like a handful of seeds left over from that. So those 2 have come up. I don't know what that will do, but hopefully this one does a little something. And I can't remember what else I put over here, but it does look like we have a little bit of action here. I don't know or remember what these were, but let's hope they continue to survive, because you can see there's no damage on them as it stands right now, but let's hope for the best. And then I also put, well, maybe those are cucumbers. I don't know. I can't remember, but we put cucumber seedlings or seeds all along here. As of right now, I have nothing else popping up, except for here, which I almost completely forgot about these. It's getting really sunny outside, so hopefully you guys can see me pretty good. But those are the Malabar spinach, which is like a perpetual spinach. It's not your typical spinach. It's more on the like succulent like texture. I don't know. I've never grown it before. I got these seeds from Queenie's garden. I'm really excited to be growing these, and so far it looks like nobody wants to eat them up, which is even better. But they trellis, so they will fill this trellis out. I believe Jess from Roots and Refuge Farm, she's grown these before, so maybe go to one of her older posts. Something that's distracting me. Maybe go to one of her older videos from her Arkansas garden. She's grown some of these before. So I'm really excited to have these in my garden, because I want to say they're also perennial, which is even better. Anything that I can get my hands on that is perennial and will continue to grow in my garden, even better. All right, and the final thing here that I just wanted to share, because I still have more stuff to plant out and I almost forgot about them. So I ended up picking up some habanero starts, some scotch bonnet, but you can see these guys are like itty bitty little guys, and maybe they'll get bigger if I put them in pots, but I just have not yet. And then these were some more like leftover peppers that were just like way too small to put in the ground just yet. And this one, I don't even remember what these were, but and then this was the one lonesome Queen of Malinaco, which I can probably just chop and call it a loss. And then this is my ashwagandha. So I have one that like I got started indoors and did decent, but look at all those seedlings. So I'm just going to allow for them to continue to grow on in these pots until I know where the heck I want to put them. And then we have some sunflowers. We got some more bachelor buttons, straw flowers, etc. down here that I just need to plug in and find a home for. I'm thinking these sunflowers might end up in the place of where the garlic is. All right, so we have survived this garden tour. I have been sniffly all throughout, so I apologize if that is extremely annoying to you guys, because it's kind of annoying to myself. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure that you go on ahead and hit it with a thumbs up. Let me know down below what you are growing in your area, or what are you harvesting, because that's what I really can't wait for. I might go on ahead and harvest some greens real soon. Mix something up real quick, but I would love to hear what you guys are growing. I thank you all again. I wish you all health, wealth, and prosperity, and until the next time, peace.